Hello, new team members and recruiters. My name is Michelle Zito, and this is your welcome call to welcome you to your new Park Lane business. So welcome to Park Lane, welcome to this organization. As I said, my name is Michelle Zito. I'm a company VP on Long Island, and I've been with Park Lane for a little over 5 years now, and my job here is to help support you and to help train you and to cheer you on to have a successful business here at Park Lane. I'm just so thrilled to get to be one of the first to welcome you here. I generally do this call weekly. Every time that there's new people that join on, I do the call unless I have some sort of travel conflict or something. But it's important that everyone on the team get the same information. So that's why we like to start everybody off with this same, welcome orientation. And that's good for you to know as well, because even as a brand new person, if you welcome someone onto your team, even though you're brand new and don't know, a whole lot, that's okay. You'll know that your new team member can just participate in this exact same call on a future Tuesday. So on tonight's Zoom here, we focus on the Rich Rewards program, which is how you're going to add all kinds of free jewelry to your kits. As well as how you're going to introduce your friends and family to your new Park Lane business. And that would also include having a fun and successful launch party. If you already did your launch party, you can still apply the principles of what I'm going to share with you today to a follow-up launch party, or really to any show that you do ever in your career here at Park Lane. So I hope you have a pen and paper handy, or whatever method you use to take notes. Now, there are going to be parts where I share like actual scripts with you. Those you don't have to attempt to write down. There's a document on our team page that has them, and you will not have to worry about trying to write all of that down. You'll just pull up the script when you're ready. Okay, so Park Lane is super generous to us. They know that we want to add new jewelry to our kit, not just when we're new, like always. Jen's been here for 2 years. I've been here for 5. And if somebody said, do you have all the jewelry you need? We'd be like, no. Like, that would be impossible. That would be absolutely impossible. It would be impossible even if I had one of everything, because then I would want doubles so that I don't have to pull things out of my jewelry box when I have a show. So yeah, no, we always want more jewelry. However, we didn't join this business to make ourselves poor on jewelry. We are in this business to make ourselves rich on jewelry. And that is why we have this amazing Rich Rewards program, because that's how we add the freebie jewelry to our kit. And that's in addition, of course, to earning our commission checks. At no time is Park Lane paying you in jewelry. That's, of course, ridiculous. We get paid and we have the ability to earn jewelry. So would you like to earn jewelry every month along with your weekly paycheck? Because if so, then we are going to take a real quick look here at the Rich Rewards brochure. And this is something that you can pull up anytime you need it. Sorry that I'm not ready with this ahead of time. I always think it's going to be ready, and then it's not. Oh my gosh, I'm not even signed in. Here we go. Hold on. Okay, so when you come onto your back office, that we'll call this, there's all kinds of categories here. What we're looking for is the field interface, and I think we'll just pull this from the downloads. They have actually pared this down, but the Rich Rewards brochure is here. So you click on the Rich Rewards brochure, and this is, I would highly recommend printing one of these out so that you can always be tracking how close you are to your next Rich Rewards level. And of course, the online tracker does that for you as well, and I'll show that to you in a second. But here's all of your levels, okay? So level 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all based on sales, and then levels 5 and 6 are based on team building, Okay, so level one, when you submit personal sales of $1,000, and that's net and non, meaning anything that's a special along with anything that's a normal purchase, within the first 2 commission weeks of a calendar month, you get $250 worth of free jewelry of your choice. Now, I just want to take this opportunity to explain what a month is in Park Lane, because it is not the same as the way the sun circles the earth, the way that the rest of the calendar goes. So if we take a look at the month of May, okay, Park Lane works on a Thursday to Wednesday work week. So the first day of a work week is a Thursday, the last day is Wednesday. So any sales that you put in from Thursday to Wednesday, Thursday they work on the payroll, and Friday we get our direct deposit statement. So what that means then is the last Wednesday of the month is the last day of the month in Park Lane world. So the very next Thursday is the first day of the next month. So if you're looking at your May calendar, that means that May 29th, which is next Wednesday, is the last day of May. And then the first day of June will be May 30th. So May 30th and May 31st will count towards June. And then you go ahead into earning June's Rich Rewards. So we're still in May's Rich Rewards. So May actually started on April 25th in this case. The last Wednesday in April was April 24th, and then May started on May 25th. So that's like the earliest it can even be. So that meant that the end of week 1 was actually May 1st. Super weird. The end of week 2 was May 8th. So that's when we finished earning Rich Rewards level 1. And then every other level, you get the whole month to earn it, concluding with the 29th. So we are still very much working on our Rich Rewards. So level 2 is free catalogs. When you submit 1,500 in a given month, then you earn the ability to get free catalogs. They're buy one, get one free. So if you buy 20 catalogs, you get 40. If you buy 50, you get 100. The catalog will not change until the middle of July. So that means that you do have about 2 months to use the catalogs that you're earning now. So if you do earn some Rich Rewards catalogs, which I'm sure you will, don't hold back and take advantage of getting the 20 and then get the other 20 that shows up. And then you'll be set until the new catalog comes out. Okay, now all of these are cumulative, by the way, and you can use the whole month to earn everything from levels 2, 3, and 4, etc. So level 3, that's at 2,500. Any month that you submit 2,500 or more, you get that month's ensemble of the month sent to your home for free. And that means no shipping, no tax, no nothing. It doesn't show up on your 1099 at the end of the year. You just get this free piece of jewelry that shows up. And then on the first of the next month is when it becomes available to sell. So we have this awesome necklace Je t'aime that we earned in March. We started selling in April. It's been an amazing seller already. So this month we're earning the Katy earrings, which Katy Perry wore a very similar pair on an episode of American Idol. And if you watch Katy Perry or follow her at all, you know that she's into like big statement earrings. So that's why they're called Katy. And we're earning those for free this month. So if you submit 2,500 by next Wednesday, since April 26th, then those are coming to you free. All right, and then on May 30th, when June starts, they'll show us the next one that we earn. All right, level 4 is another batch of free jewelry. In the course of the whole Park Lane month, when you submit 4,000 net and non, you get to pick another $300 worth of jewelry. So if you do 1,000 in that first 2 weeks and then proceed as the whole rest of the month goes on to sell 4,000, you're getting 300 plus 250, which is 550, your BOGO catalogs, and the value of your ensemble of the month. That's pretty amazing. Then you can still add more by building your team. So a month that 2 people join your team and then go on to qualify with their 1,000 in their first 2 weeks, in their first 5 weeks, which I'll go over in a few minutes, you get to pick another 300. And a month that you do 4 joining your team that are qualified, then you get to pick another 300. So that's another 600 right there. So absolutely amazing program. Most companies, including the company that I used to work for, has a program like this, but like in your first 3 months only, or in your first 4 or 5 months only. Whereas Park Lane, I'm running this every single month along with you, along with Sheila Williams on our team, who's been at Park Lane for 30 years. So you can really take advantage of earning a lot of free jewelry, which gives you a lot of freedom to do fun things. You can do a raffle at your party with a little Q&A game at the end. You can do a little raffle to your VIP group. You can give jewelry away to somebody who books a show so that they have something to wear between then and their party, and not be bothered one bit by it because you earned it free anyway. Okay? We've now reached the part of the call. I always lose my outline somewhere in my book, so hold on. Okay, not too bad. I usually lose it worse than that. Okay, so that's that. So let's move on to some numbers here. Okay, jot this down. Write down 12 to 15 average orders. 12 to 15 average orders. Okay, then next, write down $1,000 in sales. $1,000 in sales. And then finally, write down $300 in commission. $300 in commission. So, what do these numbers mean? When you collect 12 to 15 average orders on your launch party, and I know, and of course, or any party for that matter, and you and every future hostess know 12 to 15 people with a neck. Okay, this is undebatable. We all know 12 to 15 women with a neck. Okay, then you can expect that that's probably yielding you at least $1,000 worth of customer orders. And then that in turn is going to give you $300 in commission. So does that sound good? Would you be happy with making $300 every time you went out and did a party? I'm seeing a big smile and a big nod. So I'm going to take that as a big yes. Because yes, that is a fabulous paycheck for 3 to 4 hours of work, right? So having a successful launch show that your leader's probably doing with you, if not at least helping you in some way with, that's what's important to getting you started off on the right foot, starting your business off strong, and making sure that you're going to have business to do that goes beyond your family and friends. So there are 3 steps that will make this launch party a success, okay? Number 1 is to actually have 2 launch parties, to over-invite and invite everyone. So that means if you already did your launch party, you still can do a second follow-up one, which I highly recommend. Number 2, invite using multiple methods, and to know what to say when doing this inviting. And then number 3 is to fill your calendar with parties so that you can earn your rich rewards that we just talked about. So let's go through each of these steps. Step 1, have 2 launch shows, over-invite and invite everyone. So the reason I really do recommend doing 2 launch parties, one with your leader if geography or technology allows that, and then one without him or her. And the reason for that is when you invite people for Friday and they're like, oh, I can never do Fridays because Mikey has basketball. You can say, oh, no problem. I'm also having a brunch on Sunday. You get to just do that backup invite immediately right then and there. Because here's the thing, usually only about 1/3 of whoever you invite will actually show up to your house the day of the party. You'll think about half are coming. And then the day of, there's always a stomach virus, a car accident, a throwing up child. Something's happening to prevent a last few people from coming. So about a third of who you invite. So in other words, if you invite about 30 people, that means 7 to 10 people will be there. 7 to 10 is a very good show. So I would never say that's not a good attendance. However, for your launch party, where you're going to have probably your rock star leader doing that show for you, standing there, wowing your family and friends with all of the expertise that they have and know, take advantage of that. If she's in front of 20 people, that means that that's 20 bookings she could potentially get for you. That's over $2,000 in sales that she can potentially get for you. That's a $600 paycheck that she can get for you. And chances are she can find you a team member right that night, because there's double the amount of people that you would have had than if you only did the 7 to 10. So keep inviting up until the very last minute of your show and encourage people to bring a friend. Okay, so you're going to diversify your list in order to make this happen, okay? And diversify the list means we're not just inviting the cousins, because that means that if you have all your cousins and then Gina books, then everybody else that you say, hey, do you want to have a show? They're going to say, oh, well, Gina booked, I'll go to her party. No, we want to have your cousins and the in-laws and your former neighbors from your old house and the girls from work and the girls from your old job, because with all those different groups of people, that means that it's going to be a possibility for you to get a booking from every one of those different groups, because half of them don't even know each other. So who cares? What does Frida know if Sally booked? She doesn't even know her. So it doesn't even matter. So that's great. Now, you're going to be tempted to prejudge people. I'm not inviting this one because, I'm not inviting that one because. No. Because if you're saying, oh, I'm not inviting Fran, she doesn't have any money. Invite Fran anyway. What if Fran loves so many pieces she wants to book a party? What if Fran loves so many pieces she wants to join your team? So we're not leaving Fran out, okay? Then if you're like, oh, I'm not inviting Sue, she's too busy. No, busy people, A, somehow get the most done, and B, deserve a night out just as much as anyone else. If she's too busy to come, she'll let you know. Don't make that decision for her. She might have really enjoyed herself. Invite your neighbors, okay? A few reasons. Number one, they see when you have company. So if they see a whole bunch of people coming to your house, including some of the other neighbors, now they're looking out the windows like, what's with Patty having company? I didn't get invited, right? That's not nice. So you don't want to be that neighbor. The other thing is, even if there's a nasty rainstorm the night of your show, the neighbors will still come because they just run across the street with an umbrella. Whereas somebody who has to drive a distance is going to be like, I'm not driving in the rain, and they cancel. Okay, so we love the neighbors. So funny, even if you don't know them all that well, I tell every hostess when I book my shows, I always put a few of the postcard invitations in their hostess packet, and your kit comes with them as well. And I'll just say, hey, these postcards, one of the things they're great for is sticking in your neighbors' mailboxes, because you might not know, their last name, you may not have their cell phone number, but you can definitely toss them in all the adjacent houses' mailboxes, even if you're new to the area, because guess what? They are dying to get in your house. If you are new to the area or they've never met you, and let them make their way into their house with their Visa card on your launch party. So when I was debating, I did the same type of thing. I happened to run into a neighbor I rarely see at the bus stop because usually she went to work too early to be at the bus stop. So I invited her at the last minute. The day before the show, she texted me that she would like to come, which I couldn't believe because, again, we're not that friendly, or I didn't really hang out with her or anything. Then the day of the show, she said, is it okay if I bring my aunt and my sister? And I was like, absolutely, because now I'm going to not only have my neighbor there, but two strangers that if they want to book a show, they're not doing it to do me a favor. They're not doing it because they feel bad for me or because they owe me a favor, anything like that. Nope. They are coming because they like jewelry, and they will book because they like jewelry. Bring of friends are the best guests in the room because they're not there out of obligation either. They heard there's a jewelry party and they're coming. And guess what? My neighbor knew exactly who she was inviting because she brought her Aunt Greta and her sister Melissa. All three of them placed orders. Melissa has ordered no less than probably $4,000 worth of jewelry with me over the 5 years. And at a recent Sip and Style, she brought Greta back to the event, and she finally booked a party, and it's in 2 weeks, and I am so excited because she has never held a show. She's come to Sip and Style, she's come to Scott events, she's come to Hostess Appreciations at my house, she's bought from flash sales, she's bought from social sales, she's done everything but host a show. So super exciting, and all from the last minute invitation of a neighbor that I didn't even think would come. So we're not prejudging, we're only included. Okay, quick question. For those that do have outside jobs, did any of you get a 5% raise at your job anytime recently? Okay, and this always gets like the ridiculous, like, no. Okay, but I know that on the recording that isn't getting shown because you have to make noise for it to be shown and you're all muted. Okay, so, right, not normal to get a 5% raise in almost any workplace. But guess what? Park Lane is not any workplace. Park Lane is the best workplace, and you own your own business and you get to control your raises. So if you would like a 5% raise from Park Lane, then keep paying attention. So here's how it works. When one person joins your team in this business, now you don't have a team yet, but you will when one person joins you, okay? And usually, as a quick tip, that person is a friend, a sister, a neighbor, somebody that you do like and hang out with and you can talk to a little extra. And it's way more fun. Statistically, people who start with a friend make more money and stay longer than the people who don't. So that earns you a 5% raise. It's only a 2-step process. You have a month where you sell 1,000, and like Patty, in your case, that's already done, right? You did a $1,000 launch. You already did part 1 to get your promotion and your raise. So that means that the good news is we just have to find you somebody that would like to sell same as you. And here's the best news of all. Your leader, in your case, Jennifer, will do the launch party, same as she did it for you. She will remind her to come onto this call. She will answer all of her questions since you don't know the answers. And yet, you will get the 5% raise. That's how it works here at Park Lane, and it's certainly how it works in this organization. There may be, you may have had a bad direct sales experience with a person who signed you up, didn't know what they were doing, didn't help, didn't know where the field interface was, didn't even do a launch party for you. That may be what goes on in other companies and maybe even in other teams, but not this one. Here, your leader knows what they're doing. They're going to help you get started, and you are going to get a raise as fast as you allow her to help you to get it. So please remember, tell your leader every time you have a show, because in most cases, they would love to come with you if they don't have their own show or obligation that night. Because the more times we are exposed to your friends and family, the faster we can help find you a recruit. And here's the thing. If that person quits and decides, you know what, I don't know what I was thinking, this is not right for me, you still keep the raise. You don't ever demote at Park Lane. So when you move to branch and you get a 5% raise, if that person is like, you know what, I really only just did that to help you get a raise, I don't know, I'm not continuing. You still keep your raise. You still keep your title. So don't miss out on an opportunity to share the business with a hostess, with a friend, with a relative, because it really is beneficial to you whether they try it for a long time or whether they try it for a short time. Either way, you win. Okay, so just to give you a perspective on the 5% raise, by the way, if you went out and did a $600 party as a fashion director, what you are today, your paycheck is $180. That's amazing, right? $180 to leave your house for like 2 or 3 hours, try on jewelry, and drink someone else's wine. Holla, okay? However, if you had that one recruit and you had met those requirements and you are now a branch director, you would have made $210 on the exact same amount of work on the exact same night. So that's why you want to continue to build, because that is not the only raise. After you get the 5% raise, we're trying to help you not only get the next 5% raise and go to 40% commission, but also the next raise comes with a significant override on your whole team. 10% on your personal recruits, 6% on the others. So we want you to have every opportunity to earn as much money as possible. Because can I assume that none of you joined this because you were bored? Did anyone join because they were bored or they just needed a hobby? Okay, so that's a no as well. Great, because honestly, if that was the case, you probably would have joined a bowling league, right? Or a knitting class or something else that would have just provided you with some fun. It would have cost you money, however, right? Because hobbies cost money. Businesses make money. You join this business to make money. And the leaders on this team, myself included, respect your time and want to teach you how to make the most money every time you leave your house or every time you spend time on your business, on your social media to make money and things like that. So we're going to direct you in the right way to put your time and attentions in the right way. So as you're talking with friends, here's what happens. They're like, you're saying, oh, my first party went really well. Really? So are you making money with that? Oh, did you get paid yet? Those are the kinds of questions that means, I wonder if I could do that. Because I promise you that someone's saying to you, so how many shows a week are you doing? They could care less how many shows a week you're doing. What they are asking you really is, how many shows a week would I have to do if I did this? If they're saying, so how does your husband feel about this? What they're really asking is, I wonder if my husband would think this is okay. So when you hear questions like that, you want to get them to your leader ASAP, because no one asks out of the goodness of their heart what's happening. They have an ulterior motive. So let your leader handle that for you. Just say, you know what? I would love for my friends, fill in the blank, right? So our people on live tonight are all Jennifers. So it would be, okay, so would it be okay if my friend Jennifer gave you a call? I would love for you to talk to her. She's really nice and she's not pushy and she's the one who answers all of my questions. I want to make sure she gives you the right answers too, right? And then that's it. Let me tell you something. You want to make yourself your recruiter's favorite new recruit? You send a text that says, OMG, my friend Mary actually wants some information about the business. Can you call her? You win. You win. You're the favorite for at least that day. Okay? So make yourself the favorite. We can have multiple favorites, but if you want to have a competition, then we base it on how many times you send that text, just so you know. Okay, so definitely provide us as many opportunities. We also have a Facebook group specifically for people interested in learning more about the business. It's even called, check us out, Life as a Park Lane Stylist. So your leader can send you that link. And that way, in the meanwhile, for the conversation, they can scroll the page. They can look at some of the Facebook Lives that have been done by all different members of the team to share information. So we have a lot of resources to really help you with this, because there is no need for you to stay at 30% commission forever. In fact, there's really no need for you to stay there for any longer than a month. We really like to help all fashion directors promote as quickly as possible. And the faster you do it, the easier you do it. The longer you spend without building a team, then the harder somehow it becomes in your head. And there's no reason for it to be hard. It's fun. It's easy. We drink other people's snacks and wine and play dress up with jewelry. It's like not even normal that it's a job. Okay, so we want to include as many of our friends and family and customers and everybody that we meet into such amazingness. So when that happens, you're just going to say, "Oh my gosh, you're right. We should totally do this together." I would love to have my friend Jen give you a call, or my friend Michelle, or whatever applies to you. She's so nice. She's not pushy, and she answers all of my questions. What would be a good time tomorrow for her to get in touch with you and get like a range of time? And then get a cell phone. We'll text them, and we will get that going for you. All right. So if you said to yourself just now, "Oh my gosh, I really should have had my leader speak to such and such," jot those names down immediately right now. Open up a note in your phone that says that you're going to keep a track, because sometimes you'll be like at a red light and it'll just come to you. "Oh my gosh, you know who I would love to work with? Francine. I haven't seen her in ages, and I know she always had nice jewelry on at work when I used to work with her." And then we're going to get with Francine. The same thing could happen, for bookings and for recruit leads. Okay, so that was the super extended version of step 1, which is to do 2 launch parties over invite and invite everyone. I just also threw in how to get a raise. Okay, so let's do step 2, which is to invite using multiple methods and to say the right thing when doing that inviting. So here's the thing. In this day and age, we have to use multiple methods, right? So you want to pick at least 4 of the following, okay? Calling, like using words on a telephone, okay, with a voice. Then texting, excellent choice. Using the messenger feature on Facebook, but only individually, never as a group. An email, like an Evite type of invitation. Creating a Facebook event for your party. And then, of course, the actual mailed ones that come with your kits. There's ones that look like little mini catalogs, and then there are postcards, either or both. So I always say choose at least 4, because some people never answer their phone, but other people don't look at Facebook Messenger. Many people will never see a Facebook event. So if you choose 4 ways, then they're likely to see at least 2 and be reminded. Okay, what's definitely terrible is, number 1, only choosing 1, and number 2, grouping either the text or the Facebook Messenger. That's a big no. You're so punished if you group text out any invitation. And if you're you have to tell your hostesses the same thing. Because think of the most annoying group chat you've ever been in, right? It never ends. It always happens while you're at work or on the other phone, and you're talking to somebody and your phone is like zzz, 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 and you find out it's actually the cheer chat. And somehow it's like, "Oh, Emma won't be at practice tonight because she doesn't feel good." And this has to go to the group chat instead of the coach, right? And then every 2 seconds now, "Oh, hope she feels better. Did you bring her to the pediatrician? Did you pick up some Pedialyte? What pediatrician do you go to? Oh, that's where we go." We are so off track now from what this was even about, and people want to kill everyone in the group chat. Okay, now imagine that's your party. Now we've created all these unpleasant feelings about your party. We only want amazing feelings about your party. Individual, because that's what makes people feel special. "Hey, Susan, I am so excited. I started a business with Park Lane. Are you familiar with Park Lane Jewelry?" She's either going to say she is or she isn't. So have the appropriate, normal human interaction that would go next. "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you love it too. I love it so much that I just decided to finally start selling. I love wearing it. It's been so much fun. I'm actually doing my launch party on Saturday at 7, and I would love for you to be there. You're the most well-dressed of all of us, and I really need your opinion on the jewelry." Or, "I love how you always seem to know what all the styles are. You're so much fun. You make the best spinach dip. I would love for you to be there." Whatever it takes, that it's a personal and compliment invitation, okay? If they say yes, then you're going to say, "Great, thank you so much. I'm excited. I'm going to text you a regular invite, and you can please use that text to invite anybody else you'd like to bring, because it'd be so much more fun with more people." If she says no, of course you're going to invite her to the backup date first. So if she says no, it'd be like, oh my gosh, no problem. I'm also having one Sunday. Is that any better for your schedule? If she says no to that, then what you're gonna say next, okay? The automatic thing is, if they can't come to me, I'm gonna go to them. That's a principle you want to get in your head as early as possible. They can't come to me, I'm gonna go to them. So they can't come to either one of my launch parties. Oh my gosh, okay, I get it. I know it's so crazy. But would it be okay if I came by one day next week? Part of my job is to show the jewelry to all my friends and family, get their opinions so that I pick the right pieces to put in my kit and to bring to my shows. What would be a good day next week that I could stop by? Usually if they've said no to both of your launch parties, they'll let you at least come over. You could also, of course, throw out there, or we could even meet at Starbucks. Do you want to have a glass of wine? I know Ashley mentioned that she likes to do the Jamba Juice. So there's all kinds of like fun things that you could do instead of coming to someone's home, because sometimes people don't want you in their home because now they see it as like, oh my God, now she's coming over. Now I have to clean. Now I have to make spinach dip. No, let's meet at Starbucks. Let's go have a glass of wine. Whatever's easier for them. But sometimes somebody with a little baby would prefer you to come over. Yeah, come at 7 after I put the baby to bed. Great. So does that sound like something you could say to somebody? Do those words sound good? Okay, good. So that means we are ready to move on to step 3. And step 3 is to fill your calendar with the number of parties that you had in your head that you wanted to do. But I definitely would suggest in your first like 6 weeks or so of business, really try to do 2 a week. Because I feel like lots of you join this for a part-time job. How many days a week would you say it's normal to work at a part-time job? Like 3 or 4? 2 or 3 at least? So why wouldn't you put that same effort into your new business that you work for yourself instead of rewarding Target or Kohl's or whatever other part-time jobs women tend to come up with your valuable time? You will make taking one order what you will make working in 3 hours at Target or any other like retail, minimum wage-ish type of job. And I don't say that to knock those jobs at all. You may have that job. I don't knock it one bit. I've done those jobs actually. But I want to give you a financial appreciation for what's in front of you, because our average order is $100 because people want to place an order to fulfill getting a bonus item, right? You're making 30% of that. That's $30. Target does not pay $30 an hour. And that's taking one order. That's not the whole show. At a show, you're taking 6 of those, 10 of those, 12 of those. At a personal appointment, you're taking 1 of those. Personal appointments take 30 minutes. So you're going to make in a half an hour what you would make in 3 or 4 hours at like a mall or retail hourly type job. When you think of it that way, why wouldn't you want to do 2 shows a week and be bringing in probably $1,000 a month into your household? Because that's what I would really like you to think about. Not just what would you do with $500 to $1,000 once, right? What would you do with $500 to $1,000? People are like, oh, I'd throw that on a credit card bill. Or, oh, I would finally get the above ground pool that we've been wanting or whatever. Okay, what about if you were getting it every month? Because it's not just 1 month you're getting this money. You can make $500 to $1,000 in May, and then again in June, and then again in July, and then again in August. Now we're up to about $5,000. What's that $5,000 going to do in your family's bank account? So think about that as a consistency. And the way to make it a consistent income is to start with the right amount of shows to begin with. Do 2 shows a week in the beginning. If after a couple of weeks of doing that, you're like, okay, too much. I got to do 1 a week, or I can do 2 a week on some weeks, but 1 a week on the others. Then just scale back. It's way easier to scale back than it is to ramp up. So you'll have also given yourself the amazing weekly paycheck every week to appreciate and enjoy. You will no longer not know what you're doing because you're going to be able to make improvements quickly. Because that's one of the other benefits of doing the 2 launch shows, and you can still do that even if you did your first one. But when you do your first show on your own, then you're like, okay, I totally forgot about whatever. I'm going to do that at my next show. But guess what? If your next show isn't for 3 weeks, not only do you not remember you wanted to make that correction, but you forgot 4 other things. So it's like riding a bike. You have to, in the beginning, while you're learning especially, you have to get into those habits. Even now, when I find if somehow I go a week and a half or so without doing a show, it takes me a minute to get back into it when I'm at a show, because I have super autopilot when it comes to many parts of my show. But if I made a recent change, if I changed a little up how I was doing it, I'll stumble at that part because my practice hasn't been perfected well enough. So give yourself the benefit of nice repetition, at least in the beginning, okay? So the way that you can help yourself with that is when you're inviting people to the launch, before inviting them to the launch, at least some of them, ask if they'll have a show first. And then if they say no to that, invite them to your launch. So you're saying the same opening, oh, Susie, I'm so excited. I just started a business with Park Lane Jewelry. Are you familiar with Park Lane? Again, whatever the normal human interaction is based on what they answer. And then say, now, here's what's super exciting. I'm actually looking for 2 of my most fun friends to have a get-together with me where I can just show the jewelry to a couple of people. I need 1 big one and 1 little one. Would you be able to have either a big or a little one? And let them decide which. Let them decide what number even defines that. Because some people will think a little one is 8. And some people will think a big one is 8. So rather than discourage someone from, having more people, whatever number they're having is fine. You don't need 2 people. You actually need 1 million people to do this. But if we say I need 10 people, that's too overwhelming. I need 2 fun people. And of course I thought of you because you're the most fun. Okay? So if she says yes, we go into 2-choice mode. Okay? And what I mean by that is we're going to give them 2 choices at a time until a date is arrived at for the date of the party. Because what we're not going to do is say, okay, well, I'm starting in June. When would you like it? Oh, no. You will still be negotiating with her in December when her party is, if you take that route, because it's too overwhelming. She will open the June calendar up and be like, oh my gosh, okay, so the 14th is the last day of school, and then, okay, this is Flag Day, and da-da-da. Now they start looking at every ridiculous conflict that's all over the calendar, none of which had anything to do with the date you were likely to book a show. So we're going to start with, okay, fantastic. Were you thinking a weekday or a weekend? So if she says, oh, weekdays are a little crazy. Let me do a weekend. Okay, were you thinking like a day brunch party or a girls' night out? Oh, a brunch sounds nice. Okay, great. I have Saturday the 10th and Sunday the 17th. Which is better? So you see how we're just kind of narrowing it down. Weekday or weekend, day or evening, 10th or the 17th. Now, of course, you have to modify this based on what you have available. If you are not able to do weekday shows, then you're going to say, I do my shows on Saturdays or Sundays, which is generally better. And she might say either one. Okay, great. Were you thinking a day brunch and bling or an evening girls' night out? Oh, I guess let me do night since I still sometimes work on the weekends. Okay, I have Saturday and, which is better. So you're just giving them 2 choices at a time so that you can arrive at the date. And even if they say maybe, you can still do the exact same thing, because all you're going to say instead is, if you were to have one, would you probably want to have it during the week or on the weekends? Well, I guess I'd probably have it during the week. Okay, so would you be thinking like beginning of the week or like the end of the week? I guess towards the end of the week. Okay, so just to even take a look, I have, I have Friday the 6th and Friday the, 7 days later, which is better. So that way you're getting them on your calendar. If they say no to that, then you invite them to your launch. If you say no to that, if they say no to that, then of course you ask, would it be okay if I stop by one day next week? I would love to get your opinions on the jewelry, know what I should put in my kit, know what I should bring to my parties. So usually if they've said no to the hosting, no to coming to your launch, they usually will at least say yes to that part. And then you can do a personal appointment, which generally will yield you an order, a booking, or both. So, however, there are going to be people that say no, 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 that say no to absolutely everything. And what's so important to remember, especially if you've never done sales before and when you're new, it doesn't mean, no, Patty, you're so annoying, I hate you, that was the dumbest question, and please delete me from your cell phone. No, it doesn't mean any of those things. It just means no. It probably even just means no, not now. Not necessarily no, not ever. So we say no to things all the time. So we don't take it personally, right? Speaking of Target, when you were at Target, the last transaction you had, the girl said, would you like to apply for a red card and save 15%? And you were like, no, thanks. I promise you, she did not go home and say, oh my gosh, maybe I'm not good at this. That girl with the black sweatshirt said no to the red card. I'm not good at this. People, no, it's just part of her job. She asked and moved on. When you went to the diner last time and ordered French fries and she said, do you need ketchup? And you said, no, thank you. Did the waitress go cry in the back that you didn't want ketchup? No, she didn't take it personally. It was just something you're not interested in at this time. So that's what's important to keep in mind. So, all right, so you have the steps to launch successfully, you have support, and now you can go ahead and take action on all of getting your business started. Your leader can show you the Sparkle resource on the Facebook page, which will show you all kinds of helpful videos and places to get started, how to enter an order. And she'll also direct you where on the field interface you're allowed to click and where you're not. The reason I say it that way is because you could go onto the Parklane website and then come out in 3 weeks and be so overwhelmed. There's only a certain number of things you need to click when you're new. And of course, she'll be happy to go over that with you as well. So I'm going to stop the recording in case there are any questions from the people on live. I hope this was helpful and looking forward to working with you in your new Parklane business. Have a great night.